Welcome to Unhinged Racer, where Sunday Cup means bloodbath, stock means cheating, and the prize money couldn't buy a sandwich. Let's find out what happens. This week's lineup is a 5-course tasting menu of mechanical suffering. Front-wheel drive lunacy, American torque-induced nausea, a beluga whale time trial, a Kaiju rampaging through Tokyo, and a missile run through Trial Mountain's geological booby traps. If you came here for calm, rational racing analysis, you're lost. If you came here for purple paint, bad decisions, and me yelling at suspension geometry, congratulations, you're home. Our first race is Japanese FF Challenge 450 at Alsace Test Course. The Alsace Test Course is what happens when someone designs a roller coaster, gets fired halfway through, and Polyphony says, yeah, that'll do. Now add front-wheel drive cars, the automotive equivalent of trying to sprint while someone trips you, and you've got a full psychological thriller. Rules. Suggested PP of 450. 5 laps, 10 cars. Japanese FF road cars, which in English translates to any car a Japanese teenager would drive while wearing a 5-point harness. First place is 45,000 credits. I brought a psychotic purple Mitsubishi FTO GPR. Our car is so aggressively purple, it should come with a warning label. Polyphony calls the FTO a road car, which is adorable, because this thing is a touring car that escaped from a cage. For the race, Turn 1 is an off-camber hairpin designed by someone who hates joy. You come in with full confidence, the FTO's front tires immediately file for workers' comp, and the track tries to fling you sideways off into the woods. Survive that, and you'll get launched off a cliff like you've been kicked out of a low-flying cargo plane. The suspension goes light, your stomach goes lighter, and at the bottom, Polyphony adds a 90-degree turn because apparently the fall isn't dramatic enough. Then comes the final corner, a high-speed banked sweeper with a camber at its entry so dramatic it should have its own reality show. Stay inside the ridge, or you'll be flung into the countryside like a lawn dart. The trick is letting the camber rotate the car for you while pretending you planned it. The results. Total time, 5 minutes 15 seconds. I won by 2.7 seconds. My best lap, 1 minute 2 seconds. Prize, 67,000 credits with a clean race bonus, plus a 100,000 credit golden scratch off. This is a strong start, mostly because the FTO is too purple to lose. Second race, American Clubman Cup 700 at Interlagos. Interlagos, a track famous for its drama, iconic corners, and the infield section that makes me seasick every single time. Rules, 700 pp, 5 laps, 16 cars, American road cars. First place gives you 68,000 credits. For this race, I choose the phantasmic purple Corvette C3, a car that screams midlife crisis, but in a color that screams even louder. I've gutted it, stiffened it, and given it enough torque to rotate the earth backwards. Let's find out what happens. Turn 1 demands full brake pedal commitment, the kind of braking that makes your ancestors feel it. The Corvette's nose dives, the rear end gets light, and you're praying the car doesn't decide to pirouette through the chicane. Nail the exit and blast down the street, and then slam the brakes again for a pair of corners that technically form a single curve if you squint and dream. The next turn is where Polyphony plans to bury. There's a tiny hump, almost invisible, before the first corner in the infield. It compresses the suspension, then immediately uncompresses it, sending the car into a floaty panic attack. Brake as you go over it, and you're going sightseeing. The rest is slow corners, late apexes, and praying the rear tires don't give you guys. Every time you think you've got traction, the C3 reminds you it was born in an era where handling was more of a suggestion. The final sweeper back to the grandstand is full throttle, full commitment, and full denial that Polyphony plans to kill you. Our results. Total time, 8 minutes 38 seconds. Won by 13.5 seconds. 68,000 credits, plus a 4-star marathon ticket for eating my Wheaties. Race 3. Time trial at Sardinia Road Track, B reverse. This does not feel like a time trial. This seems more like a beluga whale wrestling contest. The goal here: take a Mazda Sprint Roadster, a car shaped like a beluga whale, and handling like one too, and force it through Sardinia's corners in 49 seconds or less for 30,000 credits. Which sounds fine until you realize you could run Interlagos again and make twice the money without going insane wrestling an unwieldy mammal. Our race. The car wallows, understeers, then suddenly oversteers like it's possessed by 2 different parents arguing over custody. You turn the wheel and the Mazda thinks about it, and then responds in the least helpful way possible. The gearing never matches the track, so you're always in the wrong gear, no matter what gear you're in. The trick is to cut the first corners aggressively. 1 meal on the road counts, and that's all Polyphony needs to pretend you're still racing. Carry speed, avoid downshifting, and thread the needle between not turning and turning too much. The final 90-degree turn at the bottom of the hill is where gold times go to die. You have to throw the car in early, cut the apex like you're trying to steal it, and carry speed like your life depends on it. Brake too much, and you lose the run. Brake too little, you meet the wall. There is no middle ground here. My results. Consistent 49.2s. 18,000 credits, 200,000 credits scratch off. Not worth the emotional damage, but the scratch off softened the blow. Race 4. Nissan GTR Cup at Tokyo Expressway, east clockwise. Tokyo Expressway, the stone-walled canyon where dreams go to die. Rules: 4 laps, 16 cars, 700 pp hard cap. Must be a GTR. For this, I brought my GTR 17, Godzilla with purple accents. Wide body, racing transmission, active LSD, weight reduction, and enough horsepower to qualify as a war crime. For this race, I launched down the straight like a rocket, brake hard at 250 feet, and pray the GTR 17 digs into the pavement like a Kaiju trying to stop itself by flattening a city block. The next corners are a rhythm section of braking, turning, and not hitting walls that are closer than your student loan debt. Any mistake is punished instantly and brutally. The chicane requires subtle braking, just enough to rotate the car without redecorating the stone walls. Too much brake, and you crawl through like a tourist. Too little, and you become a smear on the wall. The GTR wants to go fast everywhere, so convincing it to behave here is like trying to teach Godzilla how to tap dance. The AI loves to attempt homicide at the final hairpin. Dive bombs, cuts, bumps, like a demolition derby with better lighting. They'll brake too late, turn too early, or simply use your rear bumper as a suggestion box. Stay tight, stay inside, and let them ruin their own race, while you rocket out of the corner like a purple-accented Tokyo-destroying Kaiju. For this race, we got a total time of 8 minutes, 28 seconds, winning by 20 seconds. Best lap, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. 120,000 credits with a clean race. This Godzilla does not negotiate. Final race. World Touring Car 900 at Trial Mountain. Trial Mountain, the scenic national park where Polyphony hides suspension traps like they're setting snares for wildlife. Rules: 10 laps, 20 cars, 900 pp hard limit. First place, 160,000 credits. Fuel use and tire wear is on. Tune. For this, I chose a Porsche 962C. Medium turbo, medium racing tires. Purplish paint because at this point, it's a personality trait. This is an endurance race. The strategy is fuel map 4 for 5 laps, pit, then sprint to the end. It's a consistency race, the kind where discipline beats raw aggression, even though raw aggression is way more fun. The Porsche 962C feels like a guided missile with headlights, and Trial Mountain gives it plenty of opportunities to show it. The long straights let the Porsche stretch its legs, and by stretch its legs, I mean attempt to break the sound barrier. But the corners hide evil little bumps that compress the suspension, then instantly unweigh it. If you're turning or accelerating when the car goes light, congratulations. You're airborne flying through the trees. The first time it happens, you think it's a fluke. The second time, you realize Polyphony placed these bumps intentionally as traps for unsuspecting drivers. The tunnel sections amplify everything. The sound, the speed, the sense you're piloting a prototype race car through a cave system designed by someone who hates insurance companies. I pit in fifth, take the lead 2 laps later, and coast home. A man who has seen too much. The judgment is in. Total time, 17 minutes, 28 seconds. Winning by 8.5 seconds. Best lap, 1 minute, 40 seconds. First place, 160,000 credits, and a 500,000 credit scratch off for completing 5 races. 5 races. 5 shades of purple. 5 times Polyphony tested my patience, my reflexes, and my suspension-related trauma. I survived a front-wheel drive roller coaster disaster, tamed a torque-drunk Corvette, bullied a beluga whale, unleashed Godzilla on Tokyo, and sent a Porsche prototype screaming through Trial Mountain like it was late for a dentist appointment. Tune in next week to Unhinged Racer for more speed, more sarcasm, and more purple-painted bad decisions.